Hi, this is the Psychotic Strength Podcast. This is Tyler Townsend, and I'm with
Oh, Mike Kromer, sorry.
Mike Kromer. There we go.
I haven't had enough caffeine yet this morning.
That's okay, man. I get it. Yeah, so first thing we'll just hit is gym update real quick. I was talking about it yesterday a little bit. I had another one. It was crazy. We put out this thing for the podcast, and we started asking everybody, and now I'm booked until like October. So
That's awesome.
it's pretty
That's a great
crazy, man.
response.
Yeah, I was excited about it. But yeah, so the gym update for me is I pulled my hamstring pretty decently, 70% tear. So just doing upper body.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, man. I got 775 almost all the way up, and then it snapped and I went down. So yeah,
Gnarly.
yeah, it was beautiful. My whole leg turned purple for a bit. It was wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, well, how are you doing? How's your gym update? What contests are you getting ready for?
Well, currently I'm recovering. I had hernia surgery about 2 weeks ago. So I've had an umbilical hernia for about 13 years. So I've been competing this whole time with an umbilical hernia, and finally just bit the bullet and got it done. And lucky me, they found a bonus hernia, so I had two for the price of one.
There you go.
So they found a smaller one above the bigger one. So next Tuesday will be my 2 weeks, and I've got my post-op follow-up tomorrow. Things seem to be healing nicely. I can't complain at all. I figured I was going to be a lot more sore and laid up, but after the first 3 or 4 days, I was able to resume a lot of my just normal daily activity stuff, showering and all that other fun stuff. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to that recovery. I've got another 4 weeks of doing just normal people stuff, and then I'll start working on the weights again. And hopefully, if things go well, I will be back at OSG this year.
Oh wow, we're really going for it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I was talking to Lynn. Have you met Lynn?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
with him, he's a really cool dude. I might meet him. I'm gonna go help with the Santa Monica Classic this year.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems like a fun show. I mean, me and Lisi's have been talking quite a bit. I mean, he lives down here now. He comes to the gym every once in a while, so it's been interesting how much you learn just by being around someone of that caliber.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, well, how did you... I've been always wondering, how'd you get started in Strongman? How did this happen, man?
Oh boy, long time ago. So, way back when I was doing powerlifting, and powerlifting was kind of getting boring for me.
Yeah.
Not that powerlifting itself is boring, but I don't like powerlifting. You do a lift, you wait, you do a lift, you wait, and then you wait longer to go into the next lift.
Yeah.
And it would drive me nuts being there waiting for 4 to 8 hours to finish a contest, which is not that bad really, but you're only doing like 9 attempts. And I was lifting in Wabdal at the time. I don't know, do you know Wabdal?
I don't.
So, World Association of Bench Pressers and Deadlifters. It was run by Gus Ruthwich, and he was one of those original CBS World's Strongest Man guys, and he decided to put one on in conjunction with the powerlifting meet he was having in Bend, Oregon, and I went down there and did it, and it was an absolute blast. And I got to meet Ode Haugen, the living legend.
Nice.
And he invited all the competitors to go to Hawaii for the Beauty and the Beast, which at the time I was like, oh, this is cool. This is going to be fun. I thought about it for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, why not? And then I get there and I realize, oh, yeah, it's the North American Championships.
Oh, man.
So there's a picture floating out on the interwebs with me, and there's probably, I want to say there's 5 or 6 future World's Strongest Men in that picture that were all at that contest. Phil Pfister, to name one. My buddy Chad Coy was in there. And I was hooked at that point. Just because the nature of the sport, the athleticism, the not just being statically strong, but being athletic at the same time.
Yeah.
and I really haven't looked back. I've dabbled in powerlifting since then, but yeah, strongman is definitely a passion.
It's hard not to just fall in love with the sport as soon as you try it. It it's
Yeah.
crazy,
Yep.
man. Everyone so far, I've had one of my athletes that were going to Worlds this year. She was a bodybuilder for years. She tried strongman once this February at the showdown, and immediately was like, "This is who I am now. This is what I do." So she's been super cool. She's in masters. So even she started this whole lifting journey late. Or late. I mean, everybody's got their journey, right? But she just immediately loves it and just will not stop competing. Now I have to slow her down, right? Because I'm the one
Yeah.
coaching her, and I'm like, 6 competitions is not what we're doing if we're going to Worlds.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny how many, like, in the Masters arena, how many guys who are coming into it late, who, have been doing it 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and I get a kick out of it because they're as old as I am, and they're complaining about their aches and pains, and I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this for 26 years now, so I get your aches and pains.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if these shoulders, man, if this is just it's just gonna switch back and forth, or if this is like permanent, like arthritis or something, man. Is this just what happens?
Oh, shoulders? Oh man. Well, what I found out, if it's not a mechanical issue, actually it's usually it's a lot of mechanical issue, because what'll happen is your T spine starts to get more immobile because you don't work on it.
Yeah.
And once that T spine starts to get more immobile, then your shoulders they can't rotate back and get you in a good position. So stuff starts misfiring, and you start having loading issues, and all of a sudden, what you used to be able to do and bring your arm up and put it straight up in the air, you just can't do it anymore. So any competitor, whether you start out at 20 or whether you start out at 30 or 40, I can't emphasize as much. Well, I can't really put it into words how much you need to do mobility training with everything else you do. Not necessarily stretching, but mobility. Because if you don't keep your mobility, you lose your mobility.
Yeah. As I'm getting older, and I say older, I'm 36, right? But still, as I've been progressing, I've been doing this for like a little over 10 years, right?
Yeah.
It is just getting harder to recover. Little tweaks hurt a lot longer, and I'm assuming this is just going to keep getting worse.
Yes and no. So that's where you have to really start managing yourself in the off time. So I am a true believer in massage and chiropractic work. So at the end of my training week on Saturday is always Saturday afternoon is a massage, and then I come back on Monday and hit the chiropractor before I start my training week on Tuesday. So I train Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and then with the massage on Saturday afternoon and the chiropractor on Monday to give myself that really good downtime. And then spending time working, if you don't take the time to work on your nutrition, because that's the other key element, right? Because you can battle inflammation, and you can increase your performance depending on how you eat. So I was able to spend about a year and a half working with Nathan Payton, and I learned a huge amount about myself in that time and how to manage my diet. And my performance I'm 53 and I'm still able to perform the way I was in my 40s. Wow. So I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen you perform. I mean, we've had this conversation a couple times, but I want to put it out there. The first time I saw you was at Feats of Strength. And I was just like, why does this guy get to go twice? And everybody just was like, no, he's in 2 weight classes. I was like, well, you can do that? And you kicked everyone's ass in both. I was like, dude.
Yeah, well, so that was the one and only time I competed. I competed in 2 weight classes. I did the open heavyweights, and I did the masters, and it was a challenge for myself. So I was able to win the masters. I came in second in the open heavyweight, but I lost on the last event. I was first going into the last event, and the last event was stones. My back just said, no, we're tired, we're done. We're not going to do any more today.
That's
Thank
fair.
you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also the meet. Man, I saw this guy. I'm not going to mention names on this part because it's a little scary, but he was shoving, smelling salts up his nose before each event. And I was like, what are you doing? So I don't use smelling salts at all. And then this dude just is shoving them up his nose hole and then going with it with a rock in his nose.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, some of these people are crazy, man.
Well, we're all a little bit crazy. Some are just crazier than others, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
So in this entire journey, I've met plenty of people, Albie being one of them, who's one of your athletes, right?
Yep. We've been friends. So we met at, I was at Oregon's Strongest Man in Salem, put on by Gold's Gym in the late, 98, 99, I think.
Wow.
And then he ended up taking some time off, and I for some reason I stumbled back across him on Facebook, and I hadn't talked to him in a while, and he was making his comeback. His journey has been incredible. He was well over 400 pounds, diabetic, and I remember him telling us, God, I'm going to tear up, about how he couldn't even put his own socks on. So he'd have his kids help him put his socks on. And he decided to make that change, and there was no way I wasn't going to help him. So I contacted him, reached out to him, and started helping him on his journey. And that man has made incredible strides. Oh, yeah. He's had some setbacks, right?
Yeah.
He's out tearing his pec. But yeah, he's persisted, and he's getting ready. I don't remember. I think he's going down to Arizona to compete.
Yeah.
In a few months. So yeah, proud of that man.
Yeah, he's not just a really good athlete. His story is absolutely amazing. What he does, I mean, he's Big Bad Santa, right? Like some of the stuff he does with that is freaking cool. And then he's been a judge, or at least some sort of help at every one of my competitions. And this guy is just so helpful.
Don't forget TV star.
And he's a TV star, right? I forgot about that.
Yep. And around his Santa persona, he does fundraising for I think for kids and for vets. So yeah.
I had him come up one year to Vancouver and I sell real estate most of the time, like my day job, whatever. And so for all my clients, I did a photo op with Big Bad Santa. So I had him come up here, sit in a chair with that. I don't remember that competition we did with the giant hammers.
Oh yes, those were impressive.
Yeah.
Those were impressive. Yeah.
Well, so he was sitting there in his Santa chair with that giant hammer, taking pictures with families, man. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. He loves kids too. Oh boy, does that man love kids.
He's got quite a few of them too.
Yeah, he looks at a woman and he gets her pregnant. So
yeah, he tries at least. That's for damn sure. Oh man, he's a good dude. So what's the biggest goal here? Like, is there anywhere where like you're just deciding I'm gonna do this part right here, or I'm just kind of done with this, or what's this look like for you?
Oh, as far as competing, so like I said, I'm planning on trying to do OSG, and then I'll go back to the Arnold. So that's the other cool thing now, is because the master sport is growing, and now we have an opportunity, the Arnold. And as a 50-plus athlete, I've won it 2 years in a row. So I'd really like to go back and win it one more time. And then after that, I'm not sure, right? I've done OSG a lot, finished top 10 a lot. I still haven't made the podium. That's been kind of my ultimate goal, is to hit that podium. And last year, I thought I was in a good place, and I didn't tell anybody this going to the show, but I broke my big toe.
Oh, wow.
4 weeks before OSG. So I broke my right big toe, and so I was competing on a broken toe, which hindered me a little bit more than I was expecting. Like on on the front because I did change how I walked and how fast I could go. So the frame screwed, anything I had to do moving just, got slowed down. So that was a little mental game for me. That's another one of the reasons why I'm going back this year. I may or may not be at 100% because of my hernia, but my goal is to make the top 10 and then turn around and hopefully, if things go well, hit the top 10 the following year and make podium. So I've always looked at this as a long game, not a short game. So I plan years ahead, not months ahead, and that's kind of the way you have to do it as any sort of athlete, because we have to be able to plan not just our sport but our life, right? So we have to fit life in there. We can't do nothing but the sport. So, like, I'm taking my boys and we're going to see the Steelers 3 weeks before OSG, but I'm not gonna not do it. I'm a huge Steelers fan, and this is one of my bucket list items. I haven't been to Pittsburgh to see a Steelers game, so I'm gonna do that and take my boys with me, and I'll get to train while I'm there because Vaughn Sikorsky and those guys in Pittsburgh, they got a great gym there. So I'll get to train there. So I won't slack off of my training, but I'm gonna make life happen, and then fit the sport in around it, which is a little bit different than it used to be for me because I used to do the sport and then fit life around the sport.
Yeah.
Now it's fitting the sport around life.
Yeah, that's a crazy concept for some people, especially when you start and you get the bug, you go crazy, life starts fitting around the sport, and it just starts becoming this. It's good and bad, right? It's good because you're in the middle of it. Everything about it, your food, your diet, like nobody could get me to eat whatever I wasn't planning on eating. I was eating every couple hours and really going for it. But it really does turn into that's kind of who you are. You are a strongman. Yeah. So again, that's good because you're focused and you're ready and you're doing all the stuff. It's also not great because I wasn't doing a lot besides the gym and strongman and all that stuff. But it's definitely progressed to where now I'm more. I love running the shows is what I love doing, and it's turned into. Like I said, I do real estate, but now I run other events. I mean, we're doing. The expo is massive, right? So, strongman, powerlifting, Highland Games, arm lifting is there. Dylan's coming to do that. And then Boo Hurt, those dudes in suits of armor beating the shit out of each other is always fun.
Oh, so I got to see that at the Arnold last year for the first time. Was it last year or the year before? And I was like, I was transfixed. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah, that would be fun to do. I don't know. That's a whole nother thing, but that would be fun to do.
Well, so I have done it. I went up and practiced with them. They had a bunch of armor. Yeah, we're tying some stuff together because I'm a little wider than most of the guys they have there.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. I mean, you're getting hit as hard as these dudes can with pole arms, which is like an axe, swords, all that stuff. And you can barely feel it. You can just feel where it landed. And the main goal is really, it's kind of a throwing game. You're trying to throw these guys on the ground. And I'm a big guy, so it's not easy to twist me at all. But the biggest concern I had was actually what they call helmet horror, which they're putting this helmet on you. It's like 20 pounds. I can't breathe. And obviously I'm working harder trying to get these guys down, and it's getting harder to breathe. I'm like, I have this little slit I can see out of, so I'm just like aiming it at everything. It was really rough. I had probably about a minute and a half to 2 minutes before I had to whip that thing off and be done.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. But you're up north, right? Where are you at?
I'm in Kennewick.
Kennewick, you're the other direction.
Southeast Washington, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I live in the desert.
Well, if you ever get up to like Seattle area, I mean, I'm sure you go up there every once in a while. There's a team up there, and they're one of the best teams in the world right now, actually. The Vagabonds, and they love having people come in and try it. So even if obviously the damn suit of armor is like $2,000 minimum.
Yeah.
So, but if you ever want to give it a shot, we'll get some stuff together and get you up there and get you beat on by these guys.
That could be fun. That could be fun.
Well, I also thought these guys were going to be kind of just. I mean, and I said it to them, and they thought it was funny. So I feel like I'm okay to say it, but I thought they were just going to be nerds, right? You know, like just.
Well, here's the other funny thing, right? If you look at a lot of the guys who do strongman, we're all some sort of nerd or geek. Yeah. We are. I mean, like when I'm training with my guys, I'll turn around and all of a sudden they're talking Warhammer, or we're talking what anime we're watching right now, or you know, I've got a 12-year-old who's in anime and a 23-year-old who's into anime, so we'll talk about what they're watching, or you know, it's or you know, I'll get into start talking about math because I have a science background, right? And so I'm the one who does the math for everybody. And I'm like, guys, come on, we're going through math lessons. I'm like, guys, come on, it's not hard. We're just doing kilos to pounds, pounds to kilos. It's not hard. Yeah.
It is hard. Yeah, I am not the math guy.
And you're married now, right? You've been married for a while.
Well, I was. Yeah. It's been about 5 years I've been with this woman now, and she's great. So we're not there yet, but we're getting close.
All right. Well, all right. Don't pop out with a ring on camera or anything. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, I bring that up because the other part of being involved in this sport is having a supportive spouse.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky because I met my wife at the gym. I was her trainer, and she's been with me through the whole journey. And she's done the journey too. She probably has more accolades than I do. And she made the transition a few years ago to bodybuilding, and so now she's an IFBB pro. So we have to balance my sport and her sport, and when we're going to compete, and when she's going to, you know, so when I'm going to compete, when she's going to compete, and yeah. It's kind of fun.
It's a lot of fun, man. I got Lily is my partner here now, and she's doing her first competition in July, Canyon Clash.
Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're supposed to compete together, and I'm still planning on it. Obviously, I hurt myself pretty good.
Torn hamstring, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be there. I have a hard time slowing down, you know, especially in the middle of competition. I hurt my back probably about a couple years ago. I just tweaked it right before comp, and I ended up competing because he needed a certain amount of athletes in order for people to go to nationals.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I already committed. I'll just show up. I'll just hang out and do what I can. And I crushed everybody because I could not stop.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, but we're going to go down there, and this is her first opportunity to do that because she's just same thing, you know. She's so supportive, she's so helpful, in this entire running these shows is not easy, you know. I couldn't do this without her helping me out, and she is just in love with the community, and she wants to be more a part of it. And I'm like, well, you know, there's one way to do it. Like, you can definitely jump in and give it a shot. So we'll see if we can get her hooked on it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. So speaking of, I was going to ask married life next, but you kind of went over that. You got kids, all that other stuff? And
oh, yeah. I've got two boys, 12-year-old and a 23-year-old.
Whew, that's a difference.
Yeah. I was, the 41 having my second kid, not something I was expecting, but not something I regret at all. It's been a blessing. Sammy is a handful, but watching him grow and progress is awesome. So Sammy has ADHD and ODD, so it's been a struggle and a journey. But he has grown so much in the past 3 to 4 years. I'm really proud of the progress he's made, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do because he's one of the things I've done recently is take a step back. August of 2024, I got laid off from my job. I've been there for almost 10 years, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself. And I've been in the fitness industry for a really long time, but in a backseat kind of role, like training people here or there. And I was like, okay, well, I was going to do something similar to what you're doing, right? I wasn't going to sell real estate. I was going to do mortgages.
Okay.
So I was taking the class to do mortgages, and an opportunity came up that I just couldn't pass up to buy a gym. So Lisa and I went in and we bought Impakt Fitness here in Kennewick, and best decision I've ever made. I am so much happier. This is where I'm supposed to be. And along with that, what I did, you know who Chad Coy is, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've known Chad a really long time, and he is, he works for Parisi. Do you know Parisi Speed School?
No, I don't know that one.
You should look them up.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff there. So he talked me into going and getting certified as a Parisi coach. And so what I'm able to do now is deliver great athletic training to kids. So I start with kids. We can start with kids as young as 7. Most of the kids I train are like 11, 12 to 17, 18. But getting Sammy involved in that and having him training 4 days a week, I think is really helping. Well, not only helping their self-confidence, but their self-worth. And then getting them affiliated with other kids who are really great kids. Because most of the kids that I train, I mean, I have to say all the kids that work out with me at the gym are just great kids. And they're very supportive of each other. So it's like the strongman community, but in a miniature version, right?
Nice.
So how many times are you competing where the guys you're competing with are cheering for you or you're cheering for them? Same thing happens with this group, with these groups of kids. And then seeing all of them progress and make those changes is just ridiculously rewarding. And now I understand why Chad's been doing it for so long, because, I mean, watching kids blossom and get it, and you see that light click on in their eyes, just like any athlete, when you see that light click and they get it, you're like, oh, that's what I've been waiting for. That's my reward. That's my reward, as I get to see you do that.
So I have been working with, this is the first year I'm not doing it, but I've been coaching soccer. I played soccer for a long time. I know I don't look like it, but like I played forever. And so I've been coaching. I started coaching my son and my daughter's team. And then I moved over to just my daughter's team because it went into club, which gets real intense. But I do understand what you're saying. Like watching these girls progress and become better athletes and better people. It's crazy rewarding to see that. And then I see them out and about and they're like, Coach. I'm like, yeah, that's so awesome. Or they switch teams, which happens, because when you go into club, there's levels, right? I was at the lowest tier. That was kind of my favorite tier, right? Like these girls they need so much. And watching them progress to the upper tiers was pretty cool. Obviously, I'm losing them, right?
Yeah.
But it's really cool.
You never really lose them.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
They remember all the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, some of these girls, it was like 4 years, like on the same team, like working on that. And it's really cool. So it's also fun this year. I ended up stopping like mid-season, honestly. Parents are rough, It became a real problem. That was just not fun. One of the parents got real uppity, had a couple of the other ones together, and it got really just to the point where I'm like, this isn't fun for me anymore. Like I'm in here just, obviously I get paid like $1,200 a year, right? That's not covering gas. It's not really doing much. Yeah. So I'm here for these girls is why I'm doing this, and it just became more of a chore than anything else, and it takes up a lot of time, especially club. I'm there 3 days a week. We travel, hotels, and like all that other stuff, and it was just So now my daughter's back in like rec, and she's getting her spark too. That's the other thing with kids is you push them real hard for a sport, and it starts getting real serious. Sometimes they lose their love of the game. So I'm excited she's having a good time again.
You got to make sure it's what they want to do and that they're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's their journey and their path, not ours.
Yeah.
And some people forget that, especially parents, because it's so hard. I'm watching Sammy play because he plays soccer.
Oh, cool.
He's a big kid who likes soccer. So he is by far the biggest kid on his team. He weighs like 165 pounds at 12 years old.
Whew, okay.
Yeah. But he loves soccer. And so that's what we're doing. And, we talked about maybe next year, because he's in 6th grade, going into 7th grade, maybe trying football next year. So we may try football next year, which has me excited. But at the same time, I'm like, that was my favorite thing. And I did that with my older boy. But, I want to make sure this is something he wants to do. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, at least he's open to trying.
Yeah.
So with my son, I had a hard time because I loved soccer, right? I played it for 12 years when I was young, all the way into high school. So I wanted him to play soccer really bad. Well, how bad I wanted him to play soccer made him not want to play, right?
Yeah.
So then he doesn't start until I think he was like 14, and then he fell in love with it, right? And I'm just like, so there's this weird, like, sometimes I feel like as a parent we got to push them a little bit to just at least try, but at the same time not push too hard when they're trying to like make them do it. It's a weird balance, it sucks because he fell in love with the sport and then he only got like 4 years.
Yeah. So it's the especially as somebody who's an athlete and competitor, you want your kid to do the best they can.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you to watch them when you feel like they could do better.
Yeah.
And they're not. So that's that coaching, teaching moment, parenting moment where you have to point out, hey, do you think you did the best you possibly could out there?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're honest with themselves and sometimes they're not. But a lot of times they'll come out with that. No, I could have tried harder. I'm like, okay. Well, as long as you know that, that's the important part. Are you planning on trying harder? Or is this just you have an off day? What's the why for why you didn't try as hard as you could? Or was it something the coach said, or just not feeling it? Yeah, there's always those days. Any day you're in the gym that you're trying to accomplish something and something goes sideways. Sometimes you feel like it was horrible. The whole thing was horrible, but it wasn't really.
Yeah.
One bad lift or one bad game or one bad quarter. It's just a learning opportunity, but you don't realize it at the time.
It is very interesting you say that. I mean, I have everybody. I was going to bring this up. I had talked to Albie, and obviously you're coaching him, and he brought up. He's like, this was. I think it was when he came up to do that Santa thing for me. He was like, I'm in the middle of deep water. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean, dude? And so he explained what you had him do. And it stuck with me so much because he didn't just, obviously you're a great coach, to have your athlete be able to explain what he's doing, how he's doing it, why he's doing it. Like, it was just, it was awesome.
So that's the other part about being when you're a coach, you're a coach. You teach. You don't just say, you're going to do this because I said you're going to do it. Right. It's because these are the reasons why. I fully expect any athlete, and here's the other thing, right? Now that I own a gym, well, I'm not just coaching kids. I'm coaching strongman. I'm coaching powerlifting. I'm also coaching bodybuilders.
Oh.
So, right, we had a great group of ladies go to the Empire Classic and the Emerald and compete, and they all had a great time. But along the journey is the questions. So I want people asking me questions because I want them to know why. My job is not just to coach, but to educate and to help motivate and make sure you remember why you're doing this and that you're having a good time. And it was really great because, I don't know if you've ever, you spend time around bodybuilders. Oh yeah, my coach has me doing, an hour of cardio 6 days a week. Well, guess what? The most cardio I had any one of those girls do was a half an hour twice a week.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the best prep ever. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be fun and enjoyable. There's other ways to manage your conditioning without eating you up doing 5 hours of cardio a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
it's an interesting aspect coaching so many different sports now. So I'm learning a lot. At 53, I'm learning a lot.
Well, hey, as long as we're constantly becoming better as, athletes, coaches, all that stuff as well. I mean, that's the plan. That's one of the main reasons I like coaching, is because I get to watch their progression and help them become better, which in turn, I've become a way better athlete for myself, trying to teach these people how to do things. Because you also have to learn like 4 different ways to explain some things.
Oh yeah. So, funny story you bring that up. So, because I had spent time early in my career with Lisa as her coach doing Strongwoman, and she could not wrap her head around doing a push press and doing that second dip to get under the bar, right? So we do the push, and we do the initial dip, we push, then we drop underneath the bar to catch it, and then complete the lift, right? She just wasn't getting that. And then I know my wife loves music. I was like, Lisa, pop, lock, and drop it. And she was like, and it just clicked in her head, and it was one of those lights on moments. And then she immediately did it on the next set. I'm like, ta-da!
Ta-da. Yeah, there is a moment where they finally get something, and you're just like, see, you can do this. But
or the best one is, I can't do that. I can't. You just did it 15 times.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Yeah, I had a client that was very just getting down on herself about the amount of weight she could do. I mean, we're working on maxes because we have to set a standard for her percentages and all this stuff. So she's like, well, I can't go any heavier than that. I said, here's the deal. You get to be on the bar. I'm going to load and unload weight, and you don't get to see what I'm putting on there. So I just started clanking weight around. Sometimes I'm putting weight, sometimes I'm not. All right, now do a single. And we did a single. And then one of the times I pulled the weight off and just clunked it back on. So she thinks there's more weight on there. So now she's moving slower. And I'm like, interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I didn't actually add any weight. And she now I'm messing with her a little bit. Then I threw on like 20 pounds on each side. Right? Which is a PR for her. And she did that super quick, and I'm like, interesting. Right? Like, that was 40 pounds total we just added, which was a 20-pound PR.
Yeah.
And we just kept going from there, and then it kind of broke down a little bit of a mental boundary for her. As a coach, we got to find a way to work with each person and figure out how to push them, to their full potential. And I love potential.
Yeah. And that brings us, let's go back to the deep water, because, I hadn't really ever had anybody coach me until I'm like, you know what, I need something different. And then I reached out to John Anderson, and he's the author of Deep Water. And Deep Water, if I remember this correctly, stems from when him and, you remember Jesse Morundi?
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, so Jesse Morundi finished second at World's Strongest Man to Marius in 2005, I think, and then he passed away about a year and a half later, I think. Anyways, so Jesse and John would do this crazy workout where they would do like sets of 20 or 100 reps in the fewest sets possible, with squats and deadlifts in the same set, in the same workout. So they'd go and do like 100 squats or 100 deadlifts and followed up with like 50 deadlifts or 50 squats. And so, I reached out to John, and he got me going on this deep water thing, and it pushed me to places I did not think I could go.
Yeah.
And I got up to, I want to say, I was somewhere like 425 to 445 for 10 sets of 10 on squats, and following that up with deadlifts. So, it was brutal. And then after you get done with that, you got some like box jumps and some other stuff to do. Yeah. And I'm like, So in translating that, especially for somebody like Al, somebody who's deconditioned, it just the volume of work is gonna be a stimulus in of itself to initiate a change. And you don't have, again, this is one of those things where if you're doing 100 reps of squats or 100 reps of deadlifts, you really don't have to do much after that.
Yeah.
Nope. Mm-mm. And the back pumps were intense, absolutely crazy. So the fatigue and the back pumps, oh man, yeah. Oh, back extensions after that too.
So my clients don't even know you. I have probably about like 5 right now that are in the middle of deep water.
Yeah.
But they're cursing your name because I was like, this is where it not directly, but this is from Mike Kromer.
John Anderson to Mike Kromer to you.
There we go. It's a little ladder, but you're welcome.
Yeah.
And
have him look up John Anderson and look at that man and the shape he's in and all this. I mean, pro strongman, pro bodybuilder, pro wrestler, now living in Mexico and the United States and living his best life. So.
Yeah, I mean, there is again. I was doing it with him when I was working out, right? So this the first time we did it was last year, and this is our second time with a couple of my athletes that I've been coaching for a long time, and I was like, all right, I don't tell them when it's coming, like, but here it is, and they're like, damn it, but there's this look of just like, yes, it does suck doing it. But just the capacity you get from it, just the stamina, like, it really does do a lot. And the people who've already done it are telling my athletes who haven't, just, it sucks, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely fun to do. And I mean, watching people suffer, I mean, I feel like as a coach, you kind of got to get comfortable doing that.
Yeah. Well, and, I don't ask my clients to do stuff that I don't do already,
right,
or that I haven't done, because most of my clients are in my gym, they see how hard I work when I'm in there, and the pile of just sweaty nastiness I am when I get done, and I'm laying on the floor trying to catch my breath because I've been doing, I've been cycling between doing, squats, back extensions, and jumping on the freaking assault bike for 3 minutes and going 60 seconds as hard as I can, and then coasting for 2 minutes, and I'm dying after that. But it helps when they see that you do the same things and how hard you push yourself.
Well, that was one of the main reasons that the first time I did it, I was like, we are doing deep water. You know, like we're all doing this together, and I'm sitting there. I was dying too. Like, this is crazy having to do this. I was like, but we're all doing it.
Yeah, and now that I've Chad's been coaching me for a while now. So there's only 2 people I've ever had coach me, and one's Johnny Anderson, the other one's Chad Coy. And I've learned a lot from both of them, especially about work capacity and a few other things. But the eye-opening workouts that Chad has been delivering, he is a master of torture. But it works. Yeah. I mean, all you have to do is look at Trey Mitchell, right? And what Trey's been able to accomplish and how large that man is and how athletic he is. He is just literally like seconds and reps away from being on the podium or winning World's Strongest Man, right? So he's not that far away. I mean, there's a man who's damn near 400 pounds doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
With weight. Just, oh my gosh. And he posted a video the other day of him doing like split squat jumps. I'm like, well, you have to be an athlete first before anything else. No matter what sport you're in, you have to be an athlete. You have to have core strength and control. You have to have stability. You have to have mobility. And you have to have conditioning. Because, whatever sport you're in, those things are absolutely fundamental.
Yeah. And it's pretty crazy how much I have loved over the past, again, like a little over 10 years, that the sport has just morphed. And if you are not an actual athlete anymore, like being able to run, being able to do this stuff, you're just not competitive. Like, you can be as strong as you want standing there, but if you can't move that weight in under 30 seconds, you're not going to do anything.
We have to be able to, so we have to take the stuff we learned old school, plus the stuff we've learned through science, velocity-based training, all this other stuff, and we have to put that all together, because each one of those things has a specific niche in what we do, and it's managing all that stuff together. So, while I mean, it's just science. It really is. When it comes down to it, you have to be able to manage the volume, manage the workload, manage the athletes, the joint stability, the movement patterns, and then working on the things they're doing now with like fascial training, which is something if you I encourage anybody who listens to this, go to Parisi and start learning about fascial training, because that can really change how you look at the way you train, because it's not all about the musculoskeletal system, because the fascia just sits there and it's free energy and explosiveness waiting for you to utilize. But you have to build up those muscle patterns and reinforce that fascia to support the system. It's really, really awesome.
So I'm sure so out of all the things you've learned so far, what would you say is probably the thing that you're like, if I knew this sooner?
I knew this way back when, but I just didn't realize how important it was. But it's the mental toughness to be able to put yourself through what you're going to put yourself through, and learning that your work capacity is probably far greater than you think it is, and how much that mental toughness will play into your everyday life, and the discipline that you can accomplish a lot more than you think you can.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. I agree with you wholly on the capacity, man. Like the amount that you're able to do just as a creature, right? People don't understand what their body's capable of, and you have to push them to be able to. The hardest part is getting someone to realize it themselves.
Yeah.
So it definitely, I agree with you. That is great, man. How many athletes are you working with now?
Oh, all told, probably 35 or 40 between all the sports. Actually, probably more like 40 or 45 between all the sports, between training the kids and then bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting. Yeah.
So how long does it take you to like do their programming every week?
I usually start the beginning, like Friday, I will start doing the programming for the beginning of the week. I usually do it in two phases. What I'll do is I'll put the first part of the week out between Friday and Sunday. So they'll have their like Monday through Wednesday training. And then Monday through Wednesday, I program the stuff for Thursday through Sunday. A lot of that has to do with I want to see the results of what they've done, so I can manage their workload going forward, and seeing if there's anything that we need to tweak at all. Because with I don't get eyes on everybody, so I want to see the videos of what they're doing and how they're moving, and where they are in their peak cycle with how close are they. I've got athletes that, let's see, I've got 2 bodybuilding athletes, one that's like 5 weeks out, another one that's like 8 weeks out, and then I've got powerlifting. I've got one girl who's like 5 weeks out from a show, so I have to manage how they're peaking in different arenas. So I have to switch my brain from, we've got to switch from this to this now, and then balance everything out for them. And the thing about being a coach, the other thing about being a coach is I'd rather over deliver than under deliver. I want to make sure that they can, this is that, because being a coach is also being in customer service, right? Because we want, these people are paying us money to deliver a service, and I want to make sure they're getting every bit of what I can give them, because that makes our relationship. Because when you're working with clients, and any aspect where you're leading somebody, you've heard of a trust bank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm working my butt off to try and build that trust bank, because there's going to be some point where I'm going to screw something up. I know, it's human nature. I'll screw something up. And I want them to understand that it's not intentional, and that I am doing my best to make sure that they're getting everything they can from me.
Man, Yeah, it's definitely hard to do. I mean, I've definitely messed stuff up before, and it's little stuff too. Like, hey, I said I feel pain when I'm doing this exercise. You threw it back in there, but as long as you keep that open communication and really give everything you have, they see that. They're not going to hold it against you. It's just a text message like, hey, I said not to do this. I can't. This one hurts me. Like, what do you want me to switch out? And it's pretty easy on that part. What would you say is just a good... So say someone doesn't have the money for coaching or anything of that nature, and they wanted to do Strongman. There's 2,000 freaking programs all over the internet, right? What would you say is probably the best one of just... Again, they don't have the money to pay for it, but they can follow something.
Well, honestly, their best bet anymore is just to do something like AI, and just because that's probably going to do is do a conglomerate of a lot of different aspects of different training. Because I will, like I said, I've learned stuff from a couple different people, and then through my own research. So my training has changed and modified as I've gotten older, and I can't say there's just one. If you're going to join a group, starting Strongman, really basic stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Starting Strongman, really basic, good stuff, fundamentals. If you're an older athlete, mastering Strongman. Right. Just go out and buy that book, because that can apply for everybody. So use that book. Mike and Ken did a great job of putting that book together. And, for $20-$30, you can have a structured program going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart, man. My first one was 531. And I love the percentage. So we're not following it by the textbook, but a lot of the stuff I coach, the percentages at least, are based slightly on that 531. It's just one of those things that's never let me down. But I think it's awesome that you're at least the AI part, right? Like ChatGPT. It is one of those things where people keep wanting to be mad at it. You can go ahead and be mad at it. It's doing cool shit.
It's just a tool, right?
Right.
So don't let it rule what you do, but use it as a tool, just like anything else. A book will give you some guidelines or some hypotheses or theories to follow, but implementation and utilization are key, right? How am I going to integrate this into what I'm doing? And is it really going to be intrinsically helpful for me to do it?
Yeah. Well, I had an athlete around December-ish, and she had the hunched over back, and her biggest concern was fix this. How do we fix this with work, right? Being in the gym and stuff like that. And it was the first time that I had to do just hours and hours of research of something I hadn't worked with before at all, right? Because she was.
So was this just a dowager's hump kind of a thing, or did she actually have some?
She's in her 80s, and what we ended up figuring out was it was really just her lack of strength, right? That ended up pulling her shoulders forward and doing all. So it was some strength training we had to do, but again, very delicate. It was weird. We're doing wall angels. Going into the corner, having her build her way out of the corner. It was super interesting, but AI really helped with just extremely soft on her workouts that we could work. And I want to say in a month, the progress we got was crazy. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. Again, promoting these shows, I'm using AI, and I have not been shit on like this since high school, which is pretty crazy because I'm just doing the banner, and they're like, well, artist and blah, blah. I'm like, did you think I was going to pay someone to make this? And they're losing money? like just the banner for like the Iron Podium, and people are getting mad, and I'm like, this took 3 minutes total, and it's cool, you know. But yeah, in the Boo Hurt community, I'm dealing with a lot of that. Again, it's old timey stuff. A lot of them are very artisanal, and I put out a Boo Hurt AI poster for everybody to try and get everybody to come to the show, and it had the almost opposite effect of getting people to sign up because they were so mad at me for using AI at all. It was crazy. I did not think that was coming. But yeah, it was definitely interesting. How do you feel about AI and all that other stuff? Because people keep trying to like say that it's going to ruin the world and all this other stuff. I'm nervous. I've seen Terminator. Right?
Have big guns.
Yeah.
And again, it's just a tool, man.
Yeah.
It's just a tool on how you use it. So two things. Number one, we have to remember that we have to use our brains.
Yeah. Use
your brain first. Don't rely on the internet and AI to rule what you do or think. Use critical thinking skills first, and then use those tools in that critical thinking about what you want to do going forward.
Yeah.
Again, technology is just a tool, and it's how you use it that's the important part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. But yeah. You mentioned earlier. Hogan.
Ode Haugen, yeah.
Ode Haugen, yeah. I was trying to tell her how to say his name. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's Odie. I'm trying to read it. But Martine's just put out this little video. I don't know if you watch his Instagram at all, but about Moss Wrestling.
Yeah.
And so I talked to him, and I'm like, I'm down. Let's do a whole ass tournament of just Moss Wrestling. So in November, I think we're going to try and do one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I am. So when Moss Wrestling first took off, Ode, I was the actual Washington State rep for a while for Moss Wrestling. However, that is how I tore my left bicep the first time, was Moss Wrestling against Robert Oberst.
Oh. Yeah, that would do it.
It's a fun sport for those who like it. For some of us, not so much.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, is it's one of those things where you're ever going one-on-one with someone, whether it's tug-of-war or anything, especially where you're connected, there's going to be some risk. You can't guess what they're doing, otherwise you'd win immediately, right? So that bit of just battle is something I've always really enjoyed. I tried to put sumo wrestling in the first event I ever did, and that was seen it was so back and forth. And it wasn't until there's a sumo club down in Portland, and I had them come up, and every weekend we were practicing sumo. So I was giving everybody a place to try it and to practice, so that when we had the show, they felt comfortable. I took it out of the show after probably 2 months because I was doing sumo every weekend and getting hurt every weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's not just pushing.
This goes back to that. This goes back to that we talked about, that fascial training, right?
Yeah.
So when you're doing stuff that's sport specific, your body starts to reinforce those movement patterns to make you more injury resilient, even though you don't realize it. So if you're going in and doing something like Moss Wrestling, you've never done it before, or sumo wrestling, where you're having to act and react, and your body's just not prepped for that, your chance of injury just goes through the freaking roof. So, just make sure people train for it.
Yeah.
And they have that ability to react and sustain their integrity.
Yeah.
That's super hard.
It was definitely a learning thing for me, because first I I upset the entire community of sumo by calling them diapers.
Oh,
Because I was like, yeah, you don't even have to wear your diapers. I think I'm being funny. This is an extremely traditional thing. They were very mad. They're called mawashi. I know that now. But that was one of those things you don't expect to upset a bunch of people, and I did real bad. And then again, now I got sumo. I have the team involved, and we're doing this stuff. I kind of earned my way back in, but they're hitting you too when they're coming up. That's not a joke. Like they're like breaking each other's noses sometimes, and this is two like 300-pound creatures just slamming into each other as hard and as fast as they can.
Oh yeah.
It was really intense. But I definitely want to compete in that too. I want to compete in everything. But I love combat sports. And I think Moss Wrestling is a good little in-between. Because it's kind of a combat, but like no one's getting injured unless you're tearing your bicep or something of that nature. Or someone's just whipping you over the board, which you probably shouldn't have been competing against them anyways.
Yes.
So I think it'll be a fun little thing to do. Again, I'm going to get to talk to Ode
Haugen, yeah.
Ode Haugen. I'm going to talk to him a little bit more and make this maybe. It's such an international competition, but there's so little of them. There's one in the U.S. every year, and so I'm like, well, shit. Well, I wouldn't mind being another one, right? Just to have fun and bring people in and show them something.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing with we do Strongman Sunday, and we have gained so much traction just by giving people a place to do it. It's been a lot of fun, and we've brought a lot of people into the sport. So this last showdown, a third of all the people that competed was their first show ever.
Nice.
And we're really, really trying. The other thing we're doing is if there's a show anywhere near us, we do comp prep for them. So when we show an implement or something of that nature every week, every Sunday at 3. And what we try and do is focus on the ones that people need to learn for the competitions nearest.
Yeah.
And then we have a mock meet a couple weeks out of each competition. Like we've done nationals for natural. We had that competition. We had a couple people come from all over that were going to compete up there, but wanted a chance to try all the implements.
Yeah.
So we've done that one. We've done what was it? Ugly Sweater. Like all the different events around here, and people appreciate it because this stuff gets expensive, and having the equipment and stuff, I feel like it's kind of our duty to just be like, come and try it, right? Like let's help you help yourself, and it helps the whole community, man. We love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
gotta grow the sport.
Yeah, man, the sports, the community's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. I've been very. Everyone I introduce to it falls in love with everybody. I mean that whole screaming for everybody you're competing against that we're all doing for each other is it's I know that Lily, my partner here, was taken aback by going to one of my first competitions and just being like, you guys are all super nice to each other, and I'm like, I want to beat him at the best he's ever been. I really do, and I want the better everyone is, the stronger everyone gets in this community, the more the baseline is, right? The stronger I have to get to compete and be competitive, and I don't know, it's exciting.
These kids now, some of these, holy heck, I can't even. These guys are doing 350, 400-pound farmers walks on the regular, and I'm like, my best, I picked up 400 pounds a hand and moved it 2 feet. Yeah. So, yeah.
So that's actually a good little subject there. You're coaching the younger generation. I have seen some crazy stuff coming from this next generation, and it's the same thing as every sport evolves. Dads are teaching their sons, and now their sons are involved, and they're stronger, and it just gets more and more as science and just, again, as a full evolution of the sport, this is bound to happen. But, I mean, you got, like, who is it, Pruitt? Pulling almost 600 pounds as a 15-year-old?
Yeah, but, Bubba Pritchett.
Pritchett, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. And here's the other thing is, right, when I was growing up, and even probably when you were growing up, the big caveat was, hey, don't have these kids do weights. They're going to hurt their growth plates. They're going to, like, zero evidence to support that. It was all speculative. And now we've got kids who are, you know, like Bubba Pritchett, who's still growing and just a monster kid who's pulling massive and moving massive weights. And it's not going to stunt his growth. The only thing you have to concern yourself with when these kids are doing stuff like that is, again, going back to that whole, and I'm going to harp on this, if their core integrity is good and they're stable, have at it. Right? Just make sure there's going to be some, and we train the kids in a certain way, or train the athletes in a certain way so that they run less risk of getting injured when they put themselves, because we all know when you're pulling the deadlift, right, you're not going to maintain your posture as you get closer to, hitting a PR, or you get fatigued. So we have to train the body to accommodate pulling from a jacked up position where we look like a cat who's pissed off at everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense to see what these kids are bringing to the table. I mean, even these power lifters are... 1,000 was just a dream, like 10 years ago. And now it's becoming, like, at least in strongman, that's the standard. You want to be the world's strongest, you better pull 1,000.
Yeah. Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the other cool thing, right? And not to diss power lifters at all, but how many guys who are strongmen are pulling 1,000 pounds, and how many guys who are power lifters are pulling 1,000 pounds? You're probably going to find more strongmen pulling 1,000 pounds than you are power lifters. And I have no evidence to support that. This is just anecdotal, just what I'm watching.
Yeah.
But so if you want to be a good power lifter, you have to incorporate some of the stuff that strongmen do, because it's just gonna make you functionally stronger.
Yeah.
Right.
That functionality is a big deal, because I know that's one of the reasons I love strongman the most, is because it correlates the best to being out and about doing what you're doing. Everything's easier, everything's better, you're less likely to hurt yourself. It's just the smart way to do things. I know that I don't know what you call them, but having the belt squat and then, like, the stompies, you know what I mean? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's one of the best movements ever for, like, your hips, everything. And people, you look like a silly person doing it. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's great.
You want to make it even crappier? Throw a sandbag. Carry a sandbag while you're doing it.
That'd be crazy.
Yep. Grab a 150, 200-pound sandbag and do those walks with that, and all of a sudden your carries are going to be a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I will make sure that my clients know where that came from. Because they already.
I have a special knack for making stuff more shitty for people.
Yeah. Yeah, I do this thing where like even my not pendulum press, javelin press. I have them do a javelin press with a barbell, right? What I found out to do is I'll put clips on the outside of the barbell, right? And we'll put weight in it. Like just maybe a 5-pound, right? Because the javelin's already hard, especially with a barbell, the stability you have to be able to do it correctly. But now, if you're not straight, the weight moves.
Yeah.
And it starts sliding down the thing. So now they have to readjust, and I have to sit there and just undo it, and you don't get to go up in weight until you can give me 5 of these with each arm where the weight doesn't move, where you're perfectly stable moving up and down. And it's little stuff like that they're just like, where are you coming up with this? And I'm like, really, this has just been years of pushing myself, I don't want to say to perfection, Like, that's what I'm aiming for, is to be the best, strongest overall athlete I can possibly be. This was me just like seeing somebody else do something, asking questions. Why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? And then adjusting that. Like, how can I make this harder? Or I love implements or things that do multiple things, right? Like, I want to press and work on my core at the same time. Or I want hip mobility while doing a walk. You know, there's so many things you can put together that just make you, like, science is getting more involved, making this an easier way to become just an overall better athlete. You know, the internet definitely helped. As soon as information just got all over the place.
Yeah.
You see Aaron Murray ever? Oh, go ahead.
I have to get to posing practice here in a couple minutes.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. We'll just
I do see Aaron Murray every once in a while, and I'm hoping I can get her over here for something soon.
Yeah, I was just saying her moves unlocked. Look at those on Instagram.
Oh yeah, those are crazy.
She's cool stuff. But yeah, so okay, we'll just head this up. This is the Psychotic Strength Podcast. I appreciate you for being here. This is Tyler Townsend.
Mike Kromer.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. I'll see you later.
See ya.
All right, bye.